This is Lansdowne Roar, the voice of the fans, and this is the preview show. David Dunn here, joined by Mark Prendergast on his pixelated screen, and we have Conor McAvoy, who's made it back home to Monaghan. Of course, we're going to take a look at the Finland game. Of course, we've all just come back from that. And then we're going to have a look at the game tomorrow night. Of course, Republic of Ireland face off against Greece here in Athens at 7:45 Irish time, 9:45 local time. It's going to be a late one again. Before we get started, as always, if you haven't already, please like the video. Please subscribe to the YouTube page. Scan the QR code, easy for me to say. I'm jet lagged, that's what it is, chaps. Scan that QR code, head over to our Facebook, Instagram, and our Twitter account. If you want an opinion, head over to lansdownemore.e, lansdownemore.e. And of course, if you want to know what's going on with the current boys in green and the future boys in green, Conor McAvoy over at Rep Tracker. He's doing God's work on Twitter. Give him a shout. So, chaps, I suppose only one place to start, Martin. We haven't heard from you. You've been very quiet. Unlike ourselves, Conor and myself, doing God's work in the media box. You were over in the fans section. You were actually being a bit voyeuristic towards me, Martin. You sent me a picture. I must actually find that photo. You sent a picture of me from the crowd instead of watching the game.
Yeah, you were entertaining me, Dave. No, I spotted you there, and Conor looking well. And I just want to say, I've caught up with the show on the way back. It was, even though I was there, it was like I was there listening back to you. It was quite nice to listen back to the show, because it was just brilliant. I thought that you'd done a great job, to be fair, and that's the only thing I'd like to say on that, Dave. I don't want to get you too cocky and I'm superstar,
go on.
kind of stuff. Let it go to your head.
Go on.
Although I also will add, I was around obviously the Irish fans in a few refreshment places before the game, and I had this interaction with some people. I had some people say, "I'd love to meet Dave," and I said, "Oh, he's an absolute snob. He won't even talk to anyone."
True.
And also, someone said they love the fact Conor's involved with the show now because they feel and like I've said as well, I think, Conor's knowledge of all the players as well, and especially the young lads coming through, is second to none. So, yeah, a real great addition to the show. But, yeah, Dave, people want to meet you. But I said, well, Dave doesn't do pubs. And, that's just it. And you have to just deal with me. But, it was really good. Like a fantastic trip. I mean, look, like you said in the show after it, Dave, fine margins, and it was very close, and we could be sitting here in all honesty reflecting on a 1-1 draw or a loss even. They had that header and the other chance Kamara late on as well, but we got the win and we got over the line, and you could just see the buzz around it. And again, that came across really well in the aftermath. I love the fact Conor's just going, I don't care, we won and stuff. That's where the fans are feeling in the stands, and we were there celebrating long after the final whistle. Brilliant having the players coming over. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. Kieran gave him a little nudge, Hamer, to come over and take the claim of the fans, because I think that's something that before the game, let's not forget, there was a bit of criticism of Hamer and how he was engaging and not really understanding what we were about. And he's got that now. And really, he mentioned that in the press conference. Even on the flight back, I had so many people say to me, did you see what Hamer said? Did you see what he said after the game? He's never had a reception like that. That's what we're going to bring to it. We're not going to be brilliant football inside. We've got players coming through, of course, but the fans, I know it's cliched, but we're the 12th man often, and I thought largely we're very positive, the support in the stand there.
Well, you beat them off at half time, Martin, didn't you?
I didn't remember that, and to be honest, I didn't. But
Conor, am I lying?
I'm not commenting on the situation.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know. I don't remember that, to be honest, at all. But then there was a flask of whiskey being passed around, and maybe I was keen to get hold of that at that stage.
Yeah, I bet you were. Jemson.
Yep. And a nice flask. Although I think every Irish fan should have a flask going to Ireland games in future. You can
do you have those flasks yet, Martin? Or
no, I don't yet. But we have them on the way. A little bit of merchandise we're sorting out. So
that'll be in the future. No. I mean, look, I jest obviously with the whole. I mean, there was a smattering of booze, but I understand that. I don't. I think it was more just frustration. Like we're 1-0 down. Although I don't think we were we weren't terrible in the first half. It was a silly mistake by Collins, and I even said to yourself, Conor, didn't I? I said, look, if we lose this, like I'm not gonna I don't think we should go in on Collins. It's an error. Every player makes an error. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not as if he did it on purpose. It's a silly mistake. It's not through a lack of effort. And I thought we finished the half quite well. I got pelters for that on the page. So look, I think we finished all right here. And I was, oh, what game are you watching? And the usual stuff. And then we came out. I thought we were excellent second half. You know, so whatever he said to them, it worked because it came out. They were hungry. They were more focused. You know, they had it penned in. And then I don't know about yourself, Conor. I thought when he made the first set of substitutions, I thought that blunted us a little bit. I wasn't happy with that. I would have put Troy Parrott on instead of sorry, he brought on Troy Parrott, didn't he? For Evan Ferguson, I would have brought on Adamida because I thought, you know, Ida is a bigger lad. Troy Parrott's a bit lightweight, and I think they bullied him a little bit because the number 4 was absolutely. I've actually got a team sheet here. Robert Ivanov was absolutely just had him in his pocket. Like, he's just a big unit. And Jamie McGrath, I've said things about him in the past on previous podcasts. But then the next set of substitutions I thought really worked. I thought Festi came on. He was excellent. He was a threat. I mean, he set up the second goal. So yeah, I thought it was much better. And it was there was a good feeling of positivity. But you know, we said, Conor, didn't we, beforehand, like this could be the start. Like, this could be the foundations for something special, couldn't it?
Yeah, as I said, don't doubt me with that result. But
well, apparently you're turning people off the podcast, Conor.
Yeah, for just don't doubt me. No, but I felt the first half we weren't bad at all. I think people were just being negative because we conceded, and I think when I look back at it now, the biggest difference really in the first half and second half was Josh Cullen's impact. I felt in the first half, himself and Knight just kept passing the ball backwards, kept going backwards. And then you see that coming into the second half, the intensity of the two midfielders just went up a notch. And instead of looking to pass sideways or backwards, it was looking to go forward the whole time. Like, even when I look back at the first 15 or the last 15 minutes of the second half, or the first half, sorry, Izaz and Smodics and Ferguson, I thought were actually linking up quite well. And it was just, we were just missing that last touch at the end. Maybe Ogbene was overplaying it a bit, or they would try to link up with the midfielders. The midfielders would turn around and pass it backwards. But second half, yeah, I thought there's big improvements. I was, as you said, the subs, I wouldn't have brought McGrath on. Parrott I wasn't too fussed with, but I can understand what you mean with Ida coming on with in terms of a body. I thought taking his ass off when he did probably was the wrong decision, because I know he wasn't impacting the game as much as we wanted him to, but I still think that every time we got on the ball, he upright and was always looking to play on the half turn, which we do lack. Himself and Smodics were looking to play on the half turn at all times, which a lot of other Irish players could probably learn from. But especially with the way how crisp Izaz's passes are, you have Festi running in behind, you have Troy Parrott's movement is one of his biggest assets, which Izaz could take advantage of. But I'm very positive after the other night. Like, the performance didn't bother me too much. I was happy with the performance in terms of we've seen moments of clinicalness.
I mean, we rode our luck a bit though, didn't we, Martin? Like, we rode our luck a little bit. Like, we were all over them in the second half, and then all of a sudden they got into it and it looked like they were going to score, and then, you know, we had a bit of magic from Festi Abasela and a fantastic finish from one player that, you know, I've said he's far from finishing an Ireland shirt, and you know, I think Ireland fans just need to get off his back, really. Robbie Brady.
I love Robbie Brady. I mean, he has long been one of my favourite Ireland players, and I'm just always gutted when I talk about him, because I think what a player he really could have been, but he still had an amazing career, and I think he's just got a lot of resilience, to be fair, to come back. Because a lot of people had written him off with injuries and things, but you know, he's a brave player. You know, he took the touch there and finished it well. We know his set pieces, but I think back to some of the key goals he's scored for us. You know, he stepped up last minute penalties, hasn't he? And done that, and he did that at the Euros, and against France that time. You know, first few minutes when we got a penalty. So you know, he's brave, and I just think he probably club wise, just the injuries have curtailed that, sadly, for him being at a better club. Obviously, going from Man United, you're going to go down anyway. But
there he is,
absolutely brilliant performance the other night, and I love the fact, you know, we get the absolute close-up footage from Matty from the communications team there, and we see it all there. I think that's really, really good as well. I like all that. I think that's given us a bit more engagement as well. Matt Turnbull.
And you,
That's- it does it,
Matty.
Matty.
Did you hear this, Connor? Matty.
Friends.
Oh,
Football
sorry.
friends.
Football
Friends.
friends.
No, listen,
Communication
Matt Sunwell
friends.
does a great. The social media
Yeah.
team do a
But
fantastic
I like
job.
that.
They really
I do like all that kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
I've even seen. Have you seen the bit with the referee after the game with Collins? You seen that little clip?
Yeah, what was that over? Do we know?
I think he kind of said Ireland were lucky, and
Oh,
something like that. You know, that they nearly scored at the end or something, and he went, "Oh fucking hell."
Or maybe the referee was trying to have a joke. Maybe the referee
Yeah,
last night
maybe,
could have been a bit in our favour.
Yeah, Jesus. But one
Making
thing I
up
would
for
say
Skopje.
though, I didn't catch the pre-match obviously because I was having refreshments at the time and meetings. I don't mind mixing with the raw faithful, Dave.
Yeah,
But
Dave.
but one thing I'd say is, you know, I was, you know, it did strike me. I think the first reaction when I saw the team was that, you know, Finazaz wasn't good enough for the last squad, and then he's given a starting position in the team. That was one thing that a lot of people spoke about. But I agree with you, Connor. He is a clever player, and Sammy Szmodics, we have to have him more involved in centrally. I think, you know, where he can kind of serve. I do think Ferguson. I mean, we'll come on and talk about our teams for Sunday. But you know, Ferguson in those games, he just gets swallowed up. It shows his inexperience there. These big brutes of defenders, or you know, they're just very clever. And I think Adamida would offer a little bit more there, just from his experience and playing more, a bit sharper. You know, I think he would adapt a little bit in the game and drop deep, or just try something different. If it's not working, you're not getting a lot of the ball. I think he would then think, how can I pose him a different question? I think Troy Parrott's movement as well will bring him into that as well. I mean, that would probably be one of the only changes I'd made. But again, I love the fact he said Eberseli took his chance. And yeah, and I was actually buzzing for him as well, because that was a brilliant thing. And that's how you can have a kickstart your career for Ireland, can't you?
I just love the simple audacity of it. Just two lads did a horrible job marketing. We just went through the two of them. It was so funny.
Yeah.
Beautiful curve. We had a fantastic view of Conor and myself did. That was a first competitive away win where we've come back from behind since 2012. Which is mental. Here is a picture of the scoreline, of course, if you need any reminding. 2-1, but like, that's crazy, isn't it? It was Kazakhstan. I remember I was watching that game in London, Martin, and when the anthem came on, all the people, it was on RTE, they had it obviously on a dodgy box, and all the expats and all that got up and stood for the anthem. Did you have that in your pub, or?
That game we wouldn't have known, not then.
No, but like that whole thing of standing for an anthem. Like,
did we have that? Yeah, back in the day, yeah.
Really?
Like, I remember, like, the 2002.
Why everyone in the pub standing up for the anthem?
Yeah, the Netherlands, the game, the one
2001.
Roy, yeah, that one. I remember that. That was on a bit of a dodgy box.
Just.
And yeah, that was a thing. You
I
get out of GAA in London as well. You do get that in GAA.
Do you do that? Do you do that with Monaghan?
I do it in the front room.
Well, we get up and sing it. We don't sit down when the Irish national anthem's on. We get up and sing it.
Yeah,
we're proud of our country, unlike you.
I'm very proud. I'm just from Dublin. I don't have to pretend to be Irish. I am. Here you go.
And yeah, I mean, look, I know you said, just want to pick up one thing. I know you said that we booed them off at half time, Dave, but you didn't even hear what the Finland fans were singing, did you? Connor had to correct you and tell you what they
you could hear. It wasn't obvious they were singing "Fuck you, Ireland." Fuck you, Ireland.
Yeah, there was a few of them actually a little bit verbal. There was a bit of verbals between to the right of us. That did happen.
I heard a funny story about there was a fella in a fella from Waterford that was in the home end in a suit beside the Irish fans, and someone tried to give him a lot of verbal abuse from the way end, and he kept saying to him, "I'm from Waterford, I'm from Waterford," and the fella was so drunk anyway, he just kept abusing them anyway, slagging them about the score.
I think that's mad, because like any people I met from Finland were just lovely and sort of just kept themselves to themselves. They were quite timid, I found. And then, you know, you see the big burly security guard who, like, I thought was going to snap you in half, Conor. That was hilarious. Going in, he's
so
like,
aggressive. I don't know what was wrong.
He was, wasn't he? He's like, wasn't having news media. We got that on video actually. We got a lot of footage that we're going to release. We're going to do like a little vlog, and also of Greece as well when the window's over. Just like a little bit that we put together. We got locked in the stadium afterwards as well, Mark. We couldn't find a way out, could we? Well. But it was good fun. And here we were afterwards. Find the whistle. Look at that.
Oh, lovely.
Happy gingers. 3 happy gingers, as someone pointed out to
someone commented that, didn't they? Father and son.
He wishes. No, it's fantastic, and hopefully we're going to lead this goodwill. We're going to ride this crest away now into the game tomorrow night. A whole different ball game, though. Literally, Greece done the business against England in Wembley. Although England were a bit of a mess trying to play Carsley ball and backfired. I think they were told 20 minutes before the game, "Oh, yeah, we're going to try this." And you know, it was funny. Like everybody was like, I get mad stuff on my timeline, like Ranger stuff, Celtic stuff, England, like all this, and they were all like, "Oh, look at this! Like, look at our attacking lineup. It's a work of art. It's fantastic. It's brilliant." And then they had pictures of Harry Hill afterwards. Oh, this is Lee Carsley, and they had the, you know, and all this kind of thing going on. Amazing how fickle they are.
So clear of that fraud. He's a fraud, Carsley. We never wanted him anyway.
Listen, it's one game. Settle down, you. It's one fucking one game. But yeah,
Agent Carsley, well done, doing well.
Yeah, he's taking them down the inside. No, I mean, like, hopefully now this is a great opportunity. I think if we come away with a positive result, if it's a draw, you know, just a clean sheet and a draw, like a 0-0, even if it's 10 men backs to the wall kind of stuff, I would take that. I think it's just a building block, isn't it? We just need a couple positive results just to build that confidence. You know, a team bereft of confidence and belief. You know, hopefully we're starting to see that change. But yeah, I've arrived here anyway. You lads, Martin, you're staying back in London. You haven't forgiven them from last year. Conor, we're going to see you over here tomorrow, or are we?
We're in purgatory right now.
We are a bit. Conor's trying to. If anyone has a spare plane ticket,
if anyone's not going last minute.
Yeah, or a spare suitcase. Don't try with fucking EasyJet. Jesus Christ. I arrived here this morning.
We're not British. We don't use EasyJet.
Fucking, I won't be using EasyJet. Well, there's me anyway this morning, East Croydon, about 3:30 in the morning or something like that, or about 4 o'clock, waiting for the 4:07 train. And yeah, flew EasyJet. And you know what's funny, right? I actually put on that. I mean, I'm exhausted. I said, hopefully EasyJet don't try and charge me extra for the bags under my eyes. Fucking did. Or they tried to. Just want to put that out there. EasyJet are bastards. When they make Ryanair look sympathetic, you know there's something not right there. If you like, I have my bag. It's just here behind me, and literally, it fits under the seat. Now it looks a bit bulky because I've got the big headphones and I've got like some electronic equipment, but I travel quite light. And you know the way they do that thing, don't they? Where it's on its side, so it doesn't go in as well. Because obviously the thing, like the seat is, you put it on the floor and it slides under, so it's easier to do that. It's actually harder to do on the side, and that's why they all do it. Ryanair do it as well. And I just thought, here we go. And the fella in front of me, like, fucking start putting on all his clothes, all his layers. Got proper arsey with your woman. You know, fair play to him. She was rude, and then
stand the ground. That's it.
Yeah. Oh no, I can't stand it. I can't stand it. No, she wasn't English. No, they weren't English. These got I think it was Central European. Like she wasn't English. But I've had this before. Like, and I said to them, like, what's the point in all this? And I went, okay, fair enough. And I put these on my head. I said, I put them around my neck. So right, I'll wear these. Got the microphone cord. It was just literally microphone cord. And it was this is what was making it like not go in properly. So I've got all the fucking cords in my pockets. I'm like, all right. Fuck it. And I said, do you want me to put all, you know, I'll wear all the stuff. Oh, and I had a bag for duty free because I was picking up some cigarettes from my stepmom. And she's like, well, and I put loads of stuff in that bag. And goes, that's a duty free bag. And he's like, no, it's not a person. No, it's a duty free bag. And I said, look, I could do this all day. I'll put them in my pockets. Like, what do you want to do here? Oh, just go on. And then, there's just no need for it. Just no need for it. You've got my money. You know, like, and they just wound me up. And then we had a technical issue on the runway. The tail wing, they said, so they had to get the engineer. I took over an hour. I was like, fuck it. It was unbelievable.
If you got there in the end,
got there in the end.
And to be fair, you've taken over someone's OnlyFans studio there in that room.
They are light. They are not restraints, as Martin suggested. Okay, they are not. I wouldn't put them on the wall like that anyway.
No,
they're never mind. But yeah, I'm here anyway. I did then my card thing. So if you are coming over, do get the €20, 3 days, because it's actually €9 each way. on the metro to the airport. So you have to pay €9 each way. So you get the 3-day, get the ticket, €20. It's grand. But my thing won't work for whatever reason. And had a load of and Martin's like, "What time are we doing the pod?" I was like, bear with me. I'm trying to say battery. My battery just drained, so I'm like down to like 7%, and I'm trying to find this place. And I was here last year, the same place I stayed, and the fucking ticket wouldn't work. It's a proper ticket, and it was just a fault with it. And then the staff were like, "What do you want us to do?" I was like, "For fuck's sake!" So then I'm pressing it, and then there's actually members of the public, actually hold the gate up. Come on, come through. Oh, it was crazy. But anyway. Good old Athens. So that's my story, chaps. Anyway, that's what happens when you travel. When you travel, unlike you two pair of fuckers sitting there in your homes. I'm out here on the front line with lamps on the wall. Yeah,
yeah.
I am going to go out later. Do you know? I also as well. You Prendergast. So I love meeting the Roar faithful. Absolutely. I absolutely, don't be listening to him.
Yeah. And they're looking forward to meeting you, Dave. And that's
it. So. Just if you see me in a,
wear your hat. Have you got your hat? Did you wear your hats the other night?
No, it actually didn't.
It wasn't cold enough.
No,
for some reason.
It actually wasn't. It's actually all right. Yeah. Yeah, I know, but no, I didn't bring my hat because it's fucking like it's about 30 degrees here. Like legitimately, it's about 28 degrees here.
Yeah.
Like it's absolutely boiling. It's mental, like going from two different parts of Europe. But anyway, that's my story. I will be out later on. And if you want, say hello. No problem. I won't bite. Unless right. This is going very sorry.
Right, let's move it on, Dave.
Let's move it on to the Greek game. Right. Let's go to the starting 11. Conor, this is your starting 11. This is what you want to see. Is this what you want to see, or is this what you think will happen?
I want to see, and I actually think this could beat the team.
Right. So you got Kelleher in goal, right back, Darragh O'Shea. I was going to say John O'Shea. Darragh O'Shea, Nathan Collins, Liam Scales, Robbie Brady. No change there. Malumbi and Cullen. Malumbi comes in with Cullen. Yeah, okay. And then Ebiselli on the right wing, Šmodić on the left, and Izaz as a number 10 behind Ferguson. That's a good shout with Malumbi, actually. I think the game was crying out for him. But I reckon he'll... you know what? If you asked me my team, I was sort of like, I literally just got into the apartment. I wasn't thinking. I think Malumbi was a good shout. I think he will start. We get to Martin's 11 here. Kelleher, O'Shea.
Mine's the same, basically.
Yours is the same, isn't it?
I've made one change. Just it's the same as the other night. Although I like the point with Malumbi because I think Knight did an awful lot of running the other day, and we somehow run out of legs. We run out of legs. I've gone with the same and just gone with Parrott up front. I know there's going to be calls for Ebiselli to come in, but I don't think we need to get carried away with that. I thought Ogbene does stretch teams, and I think in this kind of game where they're going to keep the ball better.
I think though, Martin, I think Ogbene could be carrying a knock. I believe that's actually the reason Festi came on in the end. It wasn't right. I don't think it was the tactical. It was
that is
the one.
Yeah, that is true. Actually,
will he start 2 games in the space? I don't know, what is it, 4 days? Will that happen? That's why I think the midfield thing as well. Like Knight and Cullen both played 90 minutes each, and in that role you need legs, and especially against Greece, who are a better footballing side than Finland. Even though Greece actually approach games a bit like Finland, they like to catch in the counter attack. I still think Malumbi and Dave, I was giving out the last 20 minutes of the game. Get a midfielder on. Knight's legs are gone, so I think we'll definitely make a change in that position.
Yeah, that is true. We should have mentioned that earlier on. Ogbene was not tactical. He had to come off. He had a knock. And of course, here is my 11. Pretty much the same, except Ebiselli on the right and Parrott in instead of Ferguson. I just don't think Ferguson's fit enough. And, I expect Ferguson to come on maybe the last 30 minutes if we need a goal. Unless we're out of sight. But, I think Ferguson, we were talking about Conor the other night as well. Like, it's the only way he's going to, because he's not playing for Brighton. It's the only way he's going to get minutes at the moment. But
I actually don't think he was that bad. I actually think I actually thought he made some. Robbie Brady played some lovely pass in behind him, and he backed up against the defender as well, kept hold of it. And it just the fact was, because Smodics kept drifting inside, he didn't, because it was in the left channel he kept coming into. Smodics wasn't there to take the ball off him, and then he could get into the box. It was a thing of, I did think at times Ferguson took too many touches, but I think it was just the fact he didn't have the options around him to give the ball to. So I actually, people were giving out about Ferguson the other night. I didn't think he played badly. I just think it was the role he was in. It was a limited role that he could do.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think he did well, but I mean, he had that one shot that needed, and at least he hit the target, and it was an awkward kind of half chance, wasn't it? But he did test the keeper, so fair play to him for that. But I just do think, I know I've gone for Parrott. I think actually Eder will probably start in front of Ferguson if he is going to make that change, and I think Parrott will come in off the bench at some stage if he doesn't start. But yeah, but Knight, I get the point. He's done a lot of running there, and he could easily go out there on the right, couldn't he? Again, I mean, one player I was saying during the game, I really thought that Smodics, because he was doing out on the left, and I wanted him a little more centrally. I thought there was a big opportunity there to get like Mikey Johnson on there. I don't know if he's 100% fit or not, but I thought pace was going to be a key there, and that may be what they do against Greece. If they're going to have the ball more, they might try and have that outlet, breaking out, transition, winning the ball, counter attack. Johnson's pace will get you up the pitch and get you fouls, and with something maybe they'll think about.
Even McAteer. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Dave.
McAteer's the same. Yeah.
I was just going to say,
O'Dowda, sadly, that's the way we're going to miss O'Dowda.
No, just saying here, like I've got the squad here in front of me. I've still got the team sheet from Helsinki. I never took it out of my thing. Of course, Mark McGuinness, he's the only one. We got a 22-man squad because Mark McGuinness was confirmed that he's gone back to Luton Town. But I mean, some decent options I think here on the bench as well. Like if we go with those, let's say any of those starting 11s, and we do need a goal. I think Evan coming on for the last 30 minutes, I think is a good option. Mikey Johnston, he's always busy, isn't he? He's very like he'll run and run and run at you. Case McAteer, don't know enough about him to be honest with you, but like I think we got some decent options, haven't we? To if we do need someone to come on and change the game.
Yeah, Jack Taylor's there as well. Let's not forget that. I mean, he might.
Yeah.
He is probably gonna want to look at him and see how he gets on. So he's definitely an option.
I think he's more of a. I've said before and here, I think he'd be more of a like come on last 30 minutes, make a huge impact off the bench with his. Actually, I think that would have been more of a game for Taylor than it would have been Malumbi because we needed that goal and we need somebody who will push forward with the ball and is a bit more technical. But as we seen, Dave, Malumbi was warming up on the sideline the last 10 minutes, and if that goal probably hadn't come, maybe it came in a minute or two later, Malumbi probably would have already been on the pitch. But
he called him over, didn't he? Like he said, "Come over," and go, "Oh, okay," and he ran over, and then I actually texted the lads, "Oh, Malumbi's coming on," and then he turned around and come back out, and he's just like back warm doing a stretch. What the fuck is going on here? But obviously they just changed it.
The goal link stopped that.
Yeah, obviously, like we're talking about being on the crest of wave, like, and a bit of positivity. But we do have to put it into perspective. Obviously, that was Finland. This is Greece. A whole different game altogether. Let's say because we've never beaten Greece, we've never beaten them. Would you be worried now that maybe because we had this before where we had this really positive? It was actually the France game at home last year, and I mean I never bought it, but everyone was like, "Oh yeah, it was really good. We're going to kick on now. This is it. Like this is the moment. This is the moment." And many people think that, this is the moment, Finland. And then next up was Greece and Athens, and they battered. We only lost 2-1, but it was an absolute caning. What happens then? I mean, I don't want to think about it, but we got to ask the question. We've got to, what happens?
They're going to be a very good side. I mean, look, they're going to be on a high, but they're also on a low as well, with obviously the circumstance in the background there. Yeah. But they would have gone through a lot emotionally. And
do you think they're going to be knackered
as a group?
Like, because I mean, I didn't see it, but I heard they were magnificent against England. They were brilliant against it. Now England were a mess. I saw some of the goals. Like they were 6s and 7s at the back. But do you think that could, the emotion of obviously losing their teammate and that performance has taken, maybe this is probably the perfect time to play Greece, perhaps?
It's it's a good time for us because we've had a good result. But you know, I don't think there's an awful lot between us, and I'd hope we're going to set up properly. I mean, going back to the Dublin game, we were okay until we just gave them space, and those teams, when they get ahead and they get the goal, they then manage the game. You know, they'll do all the dark arts, and it's hard to kind of get back into it. They'll break up the play, break up your momentum. So we've got to just be very, very solid, and that's where I think even the kind of the pacey players, if that's where we're going to play, I think they'll have more possession than us. I think it will just be, I don't know if it'll be a very open game. I think it might be a bit of a drab affair. I think that they'll keep the ball well.
I think he'll want to stabilize.
He'll want to be solid. I would take a draw all day tomorrow on that one, to be honest.
0-0.
Because we've got to be hard to beat. I think we have got creativity in our team without doubt. And I think Schmodix, I want to see a little bit more from him, actually having shots on goal, things like that.
Yeah, but to be fair though, he's been played out of position, hasn't he?
No, I know, I get that, and that's why I want to see him though a little bit more centrally. But I think we do have enough to trouble them. But I think they'll manage the game well, and I think they're in a good position within the group in a sense. Do they need to win? Not necessarily. They'll just be quite solid, I think. And I mean, it's an opportunity for them, obviously, with the England result and getting that the other night. But I think with all the circumstances, what's going on in Greek football and the loss of Baldock and that, I think they'll, I think it could be a bit of a drab affair, and I'd take a draw now, to be honest.
So you take a draw. Do you think it will be draw?
I do, yeah. I think it will be.
What about yourself, Conor? I'll joking aside.
I actually think we win. Like being January's ears, I think we win. I think we're on such a wave, and I do think, despite them getting such a huge victory the other night, I think that they will be so physically and mentally drained that it's going to be so hard for them, because the fact is they'll have to get up for this game again. Like, they know Ireland will be on high spirits, and Ireland thing is, Irish players will come into this game knowing they can beat Greece, because they would have seen the last game thinking, how did we not win that game? Even though you would probably say they deserve to win because they were cuter and smarter than us, but the way we played that day, you'd think we should have come home with the 3 points. So I feel that there is definitely winning in for us. I can see it being a 1-1 draw or a 0-0 draw, but I can still see us winning the game at the same time. I think we will. I think we'll do them. I think Heimer has these lads on high spirits, and a bit of festy magic on the wing, or Finazaz is going to unlock a door that Ferguson's going to get his first goal. So I'm confident. I don't know why, but I'm confident.
Very confident. I mean, yeah, look, I would take a draw. I said, just a positive result. Get a draw here. Get a win. It'd be amazing. I don't think we're going to win. I'm just worried. I'm just a bit concerned. I do have it in the back of my mind. I don't mean to sound negative, Chas, but we've got to be balanced here as well. If we go and get our arses handed to us tomorrow night, and then football's very fickle. It goes back to Heimer doesn't get us anymore and all this kind of stuff. We're on a nice little buzz at the moment, and I think I'd love to see now a nice, and I think we can. I think we will. I think we will get. I think it will be a draw. I think we 1-1. That's the result. I'm going to go with 1-1. What did you give us an actual result, Conor? 3-1. You going to go with that?
No, not 3. We're not going to score 3 goals. Or maybe we will, but no. I think 1-0 Ireland.
1-0 Ireland. Okay, I reckon 1-1. I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw. Good result. It'd be a fantastic result. Just before we wrap this up, also there's a table there. Greece top of the group, 9 points. Played 3, won 3. England played 3, lost 1, won 2, and of course we got our first points the other night, and we're over Finland, who now you'd imagine Finland would be favourites to go down, and we'll probably end up in a playoff. For
you look at that though. I mean, they've played 3 games, Greece. They played 3 games and they've won them all. So take a draw there, wouldn't you? You would take a draw at the start of the group. If you saw that, you'd go, "We'll have a draw, please." Nope. That's a good result away from home.
I don't go out to draw games. I go out to win. Right.
I'm not being overshadowed. I'm the most positive person on this pod, not you.
No,
I don't know.
I'm not positive.
Positivity is delusional.
Dave, can you please repeat what I've always said, Martin? Who doesn't know? What can you never do?
You can't doubt him.
Yeah, don't doubt me. And we're going to beat Italy on Tuesday in under 21s, and all them haters and that referee from last night can do one. And we'll be in the playoff next month, and we'll qualify for them Euros.
I didn't see any of that actually, because it wasn't shown in Ireland. Sorry, it wasn't shown in London, and I don't have a dodgy box. So I'm a licensed payer. No, I didn't see any of that last night. But yeah. Don't doubt him, Martin. Apparently, he gets very upset. But
No.
if you
Just
doubt him,
don't doubt me. Just don't doubt me.
Before we wrap things up, a couple of things I do want to say. Obviously, Greek tickets, it's very important. I think it's worth mentioning on the show for anyone listening to this for the game that you had to purchase them directly from Greek Ticketmaster, wherever it was. There's a link. Block 27 is where the Irish fans are as well. But you, by Greek law, you have to have your passport with you. So bring it to the game. They're going to be a nightmare on that. We had problems last year with that as well. Let's not forget. We had problems the other night in Finland as well. A lot of the the double clashing kind of thing of processing tickets in. That's just the kind of digital age we're in. So that's just that on the ticket thing. And there was also, we were chatting on the way back for the games. Ireland are going to have 10 games next calendar year. That's an awful lot of football, isn't it?
That's what you want. All them
that's what
Premier
we
League lovers will be crying about international break.
That's what we want.
I love the international
and
break.
Also, you will have a women's Euros as well in 2025. That's something that's happening, I think, in Switzerland as well.
And we'll have another 21 Euros as well.
Yeah,
we'll be there.
We will. So there's loads and loads of football which we'll be covered on this. And I'm going to give a shout out, Dave. I'm indulging myself. Ellen Malloy, previous guest on the show, had a bit of. She's joined Sheffield United recently. Bit of kind of. She lost her granny recently as well, but she came back, so she missed a few games for them. Obviously, one after our condolences for that. But she came back to England a couple of days ago, trained with Sheffield United, scored her first goal last night, and big fan of her with Irish football. So
it was a brilliant goal as well. It was an excellent goal.
Yeah, she's a really good girl. So want to wish her all the best with her move.
No, absolutely. Actually, before we do go, I just want to mention one fella. He's coming for a little bit of stick on this podcast before, but we didn't get to talk about it too much, obviously, with the Finland game. But this lad here, Aaron Connolly, of course, he came out the other day, didn't he? And he basically was talking about his personal struggles and with alcoholism and I just I guess from somebody who struggled with drink, myself, I really, I hope he's doing well, and I hope this is the first positive step for him. And I'm just glad he's come out with it, and he's taking the courage to come out and admit I've got a problem with it, and hope now this is the real start. It makes sense, really, doesn't it? When we think about it, we just couldn't figure it out. We're like, is this guy just like acting the bollocks or whatever? And then he's come out and said, no, actually, I've got a problem. Fair play to him. He's only what is he, 23, 24?
24, I believe.
He's 24, so he's younger. He was a lot younger than me. When he admitted he got a problem. So I mean, fair play to him, and I'm sure I speak for all of us here, lads, that we wish Aaron the very best at Sunderland. Hopefully, he kicks on there now, and we'll get him back in the Ireland squad, and he can finally show that, fulfill that potential. And brilliant stuff. And hopefully now he does well, and best luck to him anyway. Right.
Yeah, definitely.
We're going to get out of here. We will be live tomorrow from the ground, 6:45 Irish time. The game is a 7:45 Irish time kickoff. It is, I believe it's on RT2. We will be live for the pre-game, myself and Conor, in some form of iteration, where he's sitting beside me or he's over in Monaghan. Yeah. We'll see. And then, of course, we will be live pretty much after the end of the game, 5-10 minutes afterwards for the aftermath, where we get your opinion. I'm sure Conor will be on with me there as well. Martin, you'll be in a ditch somewhere, won't you, watching the game, celebrating?
I am out watching it local tomorrow, and I live in an area with a large Greek community, so I'm hoping Ireland do get the win that Conor's predicting, and I will be gloating when that happens.
Well,
fair enough.
We will win.
Hopefully. No, listen, best luck. Fantastic win the other night. Let's get a positive result. A draw would be fantastic. A win would be phenomenal. So hopefully we can get this run going. Anyway, we're going to get out of here. Before I do that, actually, as always, guys, please subscribe to the page. Scan that QR code. Head over to Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you could like this video, it really does help. And just spread the word. We're trying to grow. We're trying to do more of this. We're trying to get more involved with you guys. We're always trying to improve. And you got any suggestions or anything like that, please let us know. We just want to get better and better and better. And also, don't forget, Conor McAvoy, do go over and support his page, Rep Tracker, over on Twitter. Doing fantastic work there if you want to find out how the current boys in green and the future boys in green are doing. Anyway, I'm David Dunn. He's Martin Prendergast. That's Conor McAvoy. We're out of here. Come on, you boys in green.